So the time has finally come. About time JID dropped this album. God damn, would have been 4 years. I literally cried one night because I wanted to listen to the singles to this so bad. But I promised myself that I wouldn't do that. I promised myself that I would wait until the album actually came out. You know, I don't know why I keep doing that. Honestly, I have no idea. I peeked at the track list for this project and I realized that I already listened to Surround Sound with 21 Savage and Baby Tate. So it was no reason for me to hold out. I listened to it because I didn't think it would make the album, being that it dropped so early. But here it is. In my opinion, JID is one of the most flexible and unique rappers out right now. His ability to be able to be a chameleon within records just shows time and time again that he's the furthest thing away from one-dimensional. Every time I hear JID rap, it just seems so effortless for him to be able to slide in and out of the pockets of a beat, with him also being able to drive a narrative of a story through the song. A lot of times I just find myself getting lost in JID's performance on these tracks rather than caring about what the song is actually about, because his technical rapping is so good. Like, he's very wordy but also efficient when it comes to putting those words together. Now, I thoroughly enjoyed DiCaprio too, but my favorite project from him is still The Never Story. I feel like this album doesn't get enough praise for how conceptual it was, with him also immaculately providing what a debut album is supposed to consist of. Who are you? Like, are you telling us who you are? Are you telling us your story? Like, why are you here? An introduction into who you are as an artist and as a person. Like, the amount of relatability I suffer from while listening to this album was enough to keep me attached to it since it released. So with this new album title being a play off the title of his debut, I can't wait to see what he gonna talk about and see if this project interacts with the subject matter of his debut just as much as the title does. Like, I'm really interested in that, because although he spoke on a lot of his story of becoming a rapper on that project, I still feel like there were bits and pieces of the story that he either didn't touch on or left out on purpose. I just noticed that there's a resemblance between the two covers too. Like, the Never Story cover was just an outline of this artwork, it seems like. Track 1, Galaxy.
So you don't call you don't pick up the motherfucking phone, nigga? You are who I thought you was, nigga.
Nice, short, simple start to the album. I did recognize that little slight callback to his first album when Shorty was singing and she said, what, forever is not too far away from never. So I'm guessing it's gonna have some correlation with his first album that he put out, just based on that line alone. But yeah, I like how he started. He came out, probably caught a lot of people off guard, because I was expecting him to just come out and start punching us, but he came out harmonized. He came out a little soft on us. Who the hell was that on the phone saying that somebody fake because they don't call you no more? How many niggas you know like that? I hate when people be doing that, calling your phone or leaving messages like, oh, you fake, you don't call me no more. Especially men. Like, y'all men gotta calm down, bro. Like, I still love you, bro. It don't change because I don't talk to you every day. I don't talk to my mom every day. With the women, it's a little different though. You know, we got that double standard going on. It's going on over here too. What Drake say? Bitches be nagging their kid. Fuck it, it is what it is. You can call me. Track 2, Radar. Damn. I got the shit you can play for your mama. I got the shit you can play for the hoes. Got the money, but you played your soul. You played yourself. You played the role. I got some niggas who down the street. Some of my niggas a real bad bitch. I just told her to come to the bag. They got the people like dang. They even started the game. How you gonna win at the losable game? Make a chain, man. Niggas say it's an indenture. Now my niggas got business ventures. With my 9, I'm like 10 Avengers. Snap a finger, I could end. Already? We getting a beat switch already?
See,
okay.
Somebody told me when I was small that the pride comes right before the fall. We could travel, but the journey long. I prefer we get a little murder on. Drop a top of everything a nigga learn, got it burn. My little nigga in a hearse, I was hurt. They got charged, we take our place. It'll take our hearts, it'll take our faith. But we need a majority to make shit shake. Them off, better be the unsaved. You say my name. Orange and be sunlight and daylight savings. Might save a nigga life. It'll never too bright in broad day, nigga. But take they side, I'm a K9, straight in the pack. Looking for Jenny, he stick in the back. Cracking a lip, whipping the crack. Taking the beast of woken out, play like the cracking. They inferior and fit when I'm rapping, but now we together. We can send a message, but I know they never gonna lend the ear.
Bro, what is going on?
Until I'm long gone, but while I'm here, I can snap my fingers. They'll disappear.
Ooh. I just knew he was setting us up for something crazy on the first track, because this is the first track. Don't get it fucked up. This is the first track. It's like he's just released his whole arsenal. This is why I love this dude, because he can just go. He can just go and go and go. It doesn't matter if the beat switches or not. If you listen to any of JID's prior work, you know this is who he is. He hates staying stagnant within the record. He always wants something to change, whether it's something little or huge. And you know, the 3 beats, what do you have, 3 or 4 beats on here? I gotta go back and listen to it because I don't even remember. Me listening to this track just off first listen, although there's a lot packed in the specific song, it doesn't seem like there's a clear-cut concept he's going for, which I have no problem with, because this is what JID does. He just goes on and on about different topics. One being police brutality. He brought that up. He spoke on rappers being broke in the industry. You know, they make it seem like they have money, but we all know that they hurting. And in a lot of this song, I'm noticing that it's a mixture between him dropping socially conscious bars and then mixed with a little, yeah, I'm dropping my nuts. You know what I'm saying? I like the Avengers line when he said, with my 9, I'm like 10 Avengers. Snap my finger, it'll end your adventures. He's just so slick and spontaneous with his subject matter that sometimes you can't really grasp the concept of what the song actually means. This comes off like a freestyle, and where he's rapping about a lot, but there's not necessarily a driven narrative in this song, which he can do. So that's why I'm not mad at it, because he's already showed that he can do that. Track 3, Dance Now, featuring Kenny Mason. I wanted to listen to this so bad.
Say JID a scribbler, he silly with it when he spitting. I hope he don't sell his soul. Saw the patrol, it was time to ride. Motor running on Memorial Drive. They moving weight, it's no exercise. We could pick a date to come stretch you out. Only showing muscle when it's flexing time. You can see the hustle, you go.
My niggas push a weight, no exercise. I thought that was gonna be it, but he kept that scheme going. We can pick a day to come stretch you out. We only show our muscles when it's flexing time. I wasn't expecting that.
Slide on your bed, landslide. There's a 9 in my pants. Hancock, you gon' try
that reminded me of like Old Dirty Bastard.
dance with the devil, you never dance again. Dancing.
It's a lot of rappers out here playing and dancing with the devil. Now, I'm not gonna name no names. Some of them still make good music. I think he calling out them, honestly. Dance with the devil, you will never dance again. But them niggas still dancing, so I guess he's not talking about them.
Not a two-stepping man. I said I do not dance. It's a gun inside my pants. Tryna say the kicks in my pockets and show a way to live with other options. I feel it's decadence, black excellence. Play with me, you playing yourself. Playing with death, saying my prayer. Captain, your car got a K on the ship. It's a felony charge, you call the F. Niggas corner the A and get X'd out. But I only been because that's what I asked of him.
It seems like that 4 years that JID's taking off between projects was very warranted, because you can just tell by hearing the structuring of his songs, the way he's rapping, he's gotten more comfortable with himself and not really being pigeonholed by what people say as far as comparisons, trying to compare him to Kendrick. He's gotten more comfortable and has polished his craft just a little bit more. It's different cadences he's rapping on here with that he never even touched on DiCaprio 2 or The Never Story. So it's just fun to hear him actually come into his own as an artist. If you've been watching me for a minute, you know I love when artists always bring it back to where they came from, you know, where they were brought up. On this track, it's just solely Atlanta. The whole track is basically about living in Atlanta and growing up in Atlanta, which JID has given us before. But like I say, it's just a more polished version. He puts you smack dab in the middle of East Atlanta on this record, kind of like a Lil Baby would or a Future would, but in his own lyrical and masterful way. And that's why I love him, because I feel like Atlanta needs someone like that. He was on the sidewalk for most of his life, but being a kid that's, you know, subscribed to all this violence around him, it gives him a different comfortability to talk about it the way he does. And that's a big difference in contrast of what a Future can give you, or a Young Thug, or even a Lil Baby who hasn't really seen that sidewalk perspective because they've always been knee deep in the streets. That's all they know. So they can't really give you both sides of the spectrum. And that's why I like JID, because he can give you both sides because he's experienced both sides to the fullest. I like the production on that joint a lot. I like the sample they used in the beginning. One thing I will say though is that I thought that Kenny Mason would have a bigger contribution to this track. And I'm kind of mad that he didn't have a verse on it. Track 4, Crack Sandwich.
You can tell a nigga like me ain't never had shit. RP, I miss my dogs like Mike Vick. Zombies in that midnight fall, them boys.
Yo, Mike Vick ain't gonna never be able to live that down, man. Like, nobody's gonna ever make him forget that he fought dogs and some of them died. No, he's never gonna be able to forget that. R.I.P. I miss my dogs like Mike Vick. Bro, who said Mike Vick missed him?
The irony when a nigga starving, gotta grip the biscuit, jump the fence, empty all the dishes out your kitchen, spill the kick, fuck a fair catch, kill him, who trying to take the hit? First take, go to first base, Stephen A. Smith talking shit like Skip, or Shannon Sharp shooting out the if I gotta bring it to
I like
you,
that.
I was on 6, 5 fingers with the suck my dick, me and Izzy was slap box, a nigga bust my lips, start bust the left, feel the pressure like the bus pipe drip, blood red, rum sipping, they ain't cut like this, I'm a fucking artist with a gun, I can give my world peace. Big dick of grief, I can give your girl ether. She could be the collapse. God knows y'all hoes, y'all shows ain't packing the dough, cracking the flow. I don't need no niggas rapping on. How about you? Look, I do it for Royal and Roslyn, Rachel and Carl. It's black man using his mind. It's a target on your forehead. Gotta stay on point like a marksman.
Black man using his mind, a target on your forehead. Bro, I'm telling you, man, when one of us use this, they get scared. Like, just imagine if all of us was using it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just imagine.
All I really seen from the big VIP couch was a nigga swing and hit my sister right in the mouth. We fighting in the street, it's like 10 against 23. I was 17, swinging on any and everything. So beautiful, beating ass was like a family thing. Fighting niggas like us inside of a paddy wagon. We sardines to saltine crackers that wanna shackle us in chains. When you fall down, stand up, get a bandage. I ain't got cheeseburger money, make a sandwich.
I love this song right here, not because it's 5 minutes, but because it's so relatable. Like, even the hook. I don't got cheeseburger money, make a sandwich. What, you been bad? Go see your dad, get your ass whipped. Like, who hasn't? Well, the cheeseburger part, I don't know. Like, I mean, I wasn't really asking for cheeseburgers when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a cheeseburger nigga. But how many times your mom threatened you with telling your dad something bad you did, or just telling a male figure in your life in general? Like, you got scared as shit. Even your mom telling that to you was enough to get you straight and narrow, because you already know nobody want a hole put through their chest. You know what I'm saying? When he come with that fist balled up and he come in the room and just bow. My father used to come in the room fist balled up already, ready to put some work in. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I didn't want fist hitting chest. And I like the fact on the third verse that he just switched up the whole song and started to tell a story about being in the club and the sister getting hit by somebody, and you know, they basically got in a brawl. It was cool for him to tell that story and him being able to articulate it in a way where we know every detail now. We know exactly what happened. We know who threw the punch. We know who took the punch. Everything. I mean, if somebody hit my sister, I'm doing the same. I'm crashing out too. I can't even talk. JID just being able to tell a visually clear-cut story where you actually see it happening, it's just amazing to me, honestly. He's been doing that since the beginning of his career, and like I said, it's just gotten more potent now. Track 5, Can't Punk Me, featuring Earth Gang. We got some soul.
I was just a po ass nigga before I turned into a poet. Pro kids kicking the dirt, we playing bust 'em up, throw it. All of my heroes has zeros and customers growing. Ain't no horny boy, I ain't going. What niggas don't do kung fu? Why jump out there, jump you? Pull out the pump, can't pump you. Pull out the pump, can't pump me.
Shit.
Eat your heart out like it's a starving pit bull. Shit, where I'm from, everybody got a tool. Capacity to think that I surpassed them from Atlanta streets. You must be crazy now, let's be clear. I'm clairvoyant.
The way they're keeping up with this beat is actually surprising to me. Now, I know Earth Gang and JID do this shit, but this beat is just it's paced so fast that I don't know how a nigga would be able to rap on it, but that's what they doing. They're rapping on it.
Right the way I rock the IYK, okay, I keep before I knock. Pull out the pump, can't pump me, crocodile Dundee, knock it out Dundee, knock it out front team. Niggas is way too sensitive, touchy, niggas is auntie. Pull out the pump, can't pump me, ho. Pull out the pump, can't pump me. Pull out the pump, can't pump me.
When I see JID and Earth Gang on the same track, I'm always expecting something that's out of the ordinary as far as performance, because I'm always surprised with their ideas they come up with. This song right here strays so far away from the 4 songs I already heard on this project. It's something totally different, and I knew there was going to be a monkey wrench thrown into this album, and I was pretty sure that Earth Gang was going to be on that track, so I predicted right. You know, I was right. This whole track was just, how can I say, like, it was a speed race. Fast-paced rapping, fast-paced production, seeing who could rap the fastest and who could rap the best. I got JID on that. I still got JID, even though he went first. He wasn't set up to have the best verse, but he had the best verse. I like the production a lot, even though I wish that it was slowed down just a tad bit. And I know that's what Earth Gang does. They usually, you know, sometimes they'll rap pretty slow and sometimes they'll speed it up a little bit on certain tracks. It seemed like they pushed JID to speed up on this track more than even he usually does, because we all know JID goes into that fast rapping bag, but not like this. You know, you could tell Earth Gang gave him that extra oomph to make this song creative in that way. Even though I would say I was very entertained by their verses, it wasn't really that much that I caught on to, I latched on to as far as the substance is concerned. It's a track I liked, but I would say I wouldn't go back to. I can only imagine what the studio session was like when this record was made. Track 7, Cody Blue 31.
And now, my niggas.
I'm really liking that old school vintage commentary that's being laid throughout this entire project.
As I lay myself to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul to keep.
No way he sound this good. I'm looking into the camera hard as shit saying this because I don't believe it. These music soul child vocals. Why the hell he been hiding this? I still don't believe it. Let me finish playing it.
Journey takes me to places where history can't stop or break me. You know, I hope a change is coming. Just keep on swinging on.
Oh my God! What the fuck is going on?
Getting high from swishy sweets, chariots are swinging low. Swats the cousin of police, hang a nigga swinging, bro. First, I ain't want no beef, bro. We was told it, we was soldiers, we was soulless, we was sold.
The layering of production on this record is so beautiful.
Well, you bitches don't know shit about our stress, about our woes, and my obsession with success by definition of my own. I watched my mama lose her mama, go through drama and trauma, but had to keep her head high, so we don't fucking know. I keep swinging on.
Wow. Listen, I know it's early and I'm not done with the album yet, but that's gonna be hard to beat as far as it being my favorite song. Like, that's my favorite song right now, and what I meant to say was that's gonna be hard to beat. I don't know what I said before that, but it didn't really make sense in my head, so I had to say it again. From the singing, we didn't know JID had equipped. From the production, this whole song was just beautiful, and the fact that the concept was keep going on, keep swinging on. You know, don't let nothing hold you back. A lot of what JID talks about in this music or speaks about in this music has a lot to do with himself, but he knows that his story can relate to others. So, you know, the way he pours it out, the way he places certain records, the way he is so understandable, the struggle that us as black families go through, or just black people in general go through. It just shows the humility of JID. And I feel like that's what relates him to a lot of people. I feel like that's JID's biggest strength at this moment in time. I feel like this song is a representation of that wholeheartedly. So yeah, I love this joint, man. This is my favorite, man. Track 8, Brother and Them featuring Lil Durk. I wasn't expecting Lil Durk and JID to ever collaborate, to be honest with you. But we hit.
I was a kid when my brother went in. Now you little brother the man. Kinda like Pac in a butter rim. Couple M's.
Go watch a Butter Rim if you ain't seen it. You know, all my movies I give out to y'all be hitters. Like, let me know in the comments if they not. I'm not recommending no bullshit. I promise you I'm not. Go watch a Butter Rim.
I did a lot for my brother them. You better watch for my brother them. You gotta watch my bro. My brother said let's slide, what did my sister sliding too? It ain't no slipping on this side. I got my grip and found my groove. My brother's ride through. For my brother, my hitter, my slugger, my nigga, my jigger.
I know it was coming.
Y'all hit a nigga right in the jaw. We ain't jumping, we just letting them roll. From the minute I got in trouble, got a whipping for nothing or something. My brother did it. I never done no sucker shit.
I'm really interested to see how Durk is gonna come on this. Durk, what you gonna do, buddy?
You don't know about them struggling. That shit ain't nothing about nothing. Nothing else they thought I would
do.
My uncle be bitching, they told me he snitching. So when I grew up, I was blessed in my distance. I get rich, you get rich, I got rich, you rich now. Fake perks, they don't count no more. He said they feel like real painkillers.
And this sword can't be near, niggas. You reach for it, you reach for it.
To me, I like this song somewhat because it's such a clear-cut concept. You know, you don't have to think too hard to be able to consume what's being said throughout the record. I will say I'm gonna hop right into Durk. I didn't like Durk's contribution to this record, but it doesn't ruin the record for me. I didn't really think that he belonged over this type of beat. It didn't really seem like he, you know, knew how to flow over it, to be honest with you. It sounded like Durk was using the same flow that he would use over some drill production. But like I said, it didn't ruin the track for me. It's such a groovy cut that I don't really mind hearing him on it. The production on this track for me is so minimal, but also so impactful that a lot of the rapping on here, I don't really even care about. It was so simple, but it was so feel good at the same time. Yeah, surprisingly, I like this song a lot, even though I don't really care for Durk's contribution to the record. But I feel like JID and the production really overcame what I didn't like about Durk's part. Track 9, Cysteine. Okay, Cysteine after Brother Them.
Hate to see me hurt, you wanna hurt someone for me. Way too down to earth, don't do no dirt for me, please. Back on the road, gone with the wind blows, back in the shows, posting them foes, platinum and gold. Said I shouldn't worry about the fame. You seem to be concerned heard what you heard about the game. Change, niggas change. And playing with the Lord's name, saying it in vain. You heard the song, but said I did this. Fuck it, I'm hitting it on the road. I'm a bulldoze the globe for the dough. She knows she happy that we doing shine from the iced out diamonds that combined with misogynistic mindsets, dialect from slave diatribe.
He's taking accountability himself for having that same mindset as the other rappers he's calling out.
FaceTime call came with the stone cold face. We don't talk often when we do listen, are you okay? And I ain't having to only see the family when something bad. But like with Granny Tess, I ain't wanna answer your phone. Writing in our day, I hope I don't.
Oh my God, we all go. I'm not gonna say we all go through it, but I feel like I'm going through that shit right now. You get so caught up in, you know, what you want to achieve in life that you don't really check on your family as much as you should because you're so focused on the goal at hand, which in turn is pretty selfish when I really say it out loud. But you have to take time out to focus on yourself, and I feel like that's what he's getting to. He wish he was there for certain situations. He wish he was there for certain family gatherings and birthdays and, you know, all the shit that you miss out on when you're chasing your dream. But I also think while he's expressing all this regret, I think he's still head first in what his goal is as far as what he wants to accomplish as an artist. You know, so it doesn't really change his mindset. It's just I feel that he's sitting in that dark room and actually thinking about all the things that he's missed up until this point. But he still sounds like he's within himself while he's rapping this. He's not necessarily, you know, living in the regret. He's just making it known that he's had these feelings over a good amount of years. And I feel like that's a start to, you know, rebuilding relationships, and that's just talking about it. He's not necessarily living in it, but he wants you to know that he cares. Being that person that's trying to reach new heights that your family hasn't necessarily seen in any generation, it's hard being that person because, you know, you're going to be looked at as a person that doesn't want to be around family as much because it's hard to balance those two things. It's hard to balance family, you know, your love life, you know, your work life. And, you know, a lot of people put their work life first, the people that want to be, you know, the greatest at their craft or want to be, you know, somewhat recognized or get the recognition for what they've done up until this point. And I feel like JID fits in that category. And this is a 6-minute song where the 6 minutes are very well spent, probably except the end of the track where it just fades out into, you know, this production that goes for entirely too long. But I like the track a lot. Track 10, Can't Make You Change, featuring Ari Lennox.
Can't make you change.
You can't change a nigga playing games, girl, you should find a sub. Music soul child or Lil Wayne should teach me how to love. I'm growing up and you know that I'm stubborn. You trying to rush it, but
Can't make you change.
I knew it was coming.
Baby, don't leave, you're all I need. And if you stay, I'ma change my way.
looking for danger, ducking and dodging. I got a banger and I the small, but niggas be changing like a revolver. They feel like I lose the game. She said in my head too hard. I try to be good, but no.
Come on, man, that was too good. Why the fuck you change it?
D&D, she in my DM for my DNA strands. Ain't fall for the scam. Then again, I'm
She in my DM for my DNA strands. Hey, that's facts though. Hey, they only there for one reason and one reason only.
I ain't tryna be the guy that's gonna make you cry me a river like I'm Justin Timberlake or Timberland. I'm controlling my temper. Into a timber wolf in the woods. You my little Red Riding Hood. Thought you was hot. You fit in this.
This song is basically just about a toxic relationship that JID had to endure, trying to find the one that he really loves. And it seems like he still hasn't found that one yet. He's speaking from both sides, which is great. You know, he's not just speaking from a male perspective, basically pointing out the things that we do wrong and of course what they do wrong, which is a lot. I think the overall concept of this record of trying to make the other person change is a conversation piece to be had in a lot of groups out here. In order to get the person that you want, you think you have to change a person that isn't that person to begin with. And I don't really get that. I never really understood why people go for a person just based off what they have and not how they are from the beginning. You want a nigga with money? Here you go. Here's your nigga with money and here's how he acts. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to take the money in the Birkins and change how he acts. You know what I'm saying? You still taking the same shit the last female took. I got to come for the men too. There's no way you can, well, I mean, I guess, listen, it's a lot of celebrities out here that put a false narrative out here that you can turn a hoe into a housewife. If you're an 18 to 25-year-old man and you're looking for a girl in the same age range and she already has 4 to 5 kids, you know what she is. Don't try to bring her in your home. It shows right here. All the sperm cells have grown. Based on what I've seen out here personally, I can't even get mad at women calling men dumb at this point. Niggas think with their dick way more than women think with their financial brain. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, looking for a nigga with money, you know, yeah, you get the Birkin, you get this, but it's not going to ruin your life to get these things. These niggas impregnate women that already have 6 kids. I feel like I'm rambling right now and going on tangents, but I like this song a lot. And with Ari Lennox's performance, I was wondering when she was going to show out. I was wondering when she was going to hit that vocal range that we know that she can hit. And I feel like she was playing it safe a little bit at first. But when she can't make you change. Track 11, Stars, featuring Yasin Bey.
For your friends when I drop a mixtape. Both of us will win if I get a big break. Are you crazy on the Twitter? Who we need for PR? You out of control, POWER. Went to the head and now you doing bodily harm. I used to wanna be Jay, I used to wanna be Wayne, I used to wanna be Kanye and Andre 3K. And now my homegirls wanted to be Beyonce. Gotta know the difference in the stars and the gimmicks. Are you really in it for the arts or the image?
And now, a word from my ancestors. Man, I like these new slaves.
Slide, slouching tiger, pimpin', dragging on swagger. BBS is very vertebrae, snapping, ice flashing. Big fun, but no joy. Yuck, oh boy, hot girl.
Oh!
I promise Steph notice what they like is way tapping. They tap out like a tabloid typist.
To me, what stands out within a lot of these tracks is that JID is able to bring the conversation full circle of how he got to this point. You know, he always starts off at the beginning of his rap career to, like I said, to where he is now, and it doesn't come off as a stale story that we've heard over and over again. Now, with that being said, I think the worst part of this track was JID's. Not necessarily his verse, but the backdrop that the production provided him. It was just too all over the place. It wasn't really set in stone of where the production was leading me to. It was too much to be able to grasp on the first half of that track. Now, when Yasin Bey came in, I don't know why I call him Yasin, but I gotta call him Mos Def. You got more of a clear-cut structure of the beat and structure of his flow. So far on this album, Mos Def gave the best contribution to what JID has to work with as far as features on this album is concerned. I feel like Mos Def out of everybody really honed in on the topic of this song and, you know, wanted to make sure that he gave a educational but also entertaining verse. That's Mos Def, you know what I'm saying? You can't go wrong. Track 12, Just in Time, featuring Lil Wayne and Kenny Mason. Oh, Kenny Mason again, bet.
All of it 6, pray to a 9, 12, was already running from 12, a nigga was flying.
Time is of the essence, I'm progressively improving. Impressive and I'm pressing if you second guess my movements. The writings on the wall was all illusion. You got the drip, but that shit all pollution. From a city where niggas on killing time, in your pocket for nickels or penny dime. Nigga shot up, but shit, he got minimized. I be rapping till I'm mummified. Take your favorite rappers, pajama time. Be an ugly bastard, but a son of mine. It's over for you.
I got a time, Dave, bitch. I got a time. Come on, Wayne. What you got?
No protection, I'm within without it. Why am I so reckless? It's a question that don't get responses. Disconnect them if there's any power. Cowards talk excessive. Pistol ring is what I rinse they mouth with. No kindness, then I don't set the slime. No problem to kill them, that's killing time. I done did my time, but you know they still trying to give me time. Since the beginning of time, I put in the time, and that's all the time. That's in the time. Put it on the line to the finish.
Oh my God.
That's homicide, that's genocide. I'm largest. Oh. Yeah, you just in time. Yeah.
I'm at the line of scrimmage, no the scrimmage line.
Oh.
I did to the finish line. We got plenty of time, we got plenty of rhyme.
But that nigga Wayne did have time today. One of the best Wayne verses I heard in the past few years. Am I crazy in saying that? Put it in the comments if I'm crazy in saying that. I might just be in a moment. I don't know why this is pissing me off so much, but why isn't Kenny Mason getting verses? Like, why is he just on the hooks of these songs? I'm not understanding. Like, the first song he was on, he didn't really have a hook that much. He just had the pre-hook. Like, let him eat, JID. What's going on? The chorus already got a bars in it. 245, woke up, bought 245s. You know what I'm saying? He got this shit. Nah, I know I'm talking shit, but JID and Wayne did their thing on this record. I said Mos Def had the best contribution on this album, but I gotta give it to Wayne now. I gotta give it to Weezy. Listen, JID, you dropped this album just in time. I don't know why the hell Wayne talking about, like, you been on time, nigga. Like, your time is over. Damn, I just said that. That's crazy. Can't say that with the Carter 6 on the way. What's wrong with me? Track 13, Money. What the fuck is this? JID's version of Hard Knock Life?
Nigga, money on my mind more than half the time. They put a mask on the money, so I mastermind. Don't mind the mess, something as their eyes are watching God. I'm trying to rise above poverty, philosophies, and probably for forever, never. Came from East Atlanta morning after South Shun. Rats creeping on your TV screen, selling you dreams. Granny buying holy waters off of Joel Osteen, rubbing it in my brother. Some green on his head, he better be market smart. But we never had a thing. Ironic that being broke is an expensive lifestyle. No wonder they selling dope from sunroll to sundown. Try and get more.
Being broke is an expensive lifestyle. Oh my God. This beat is like, I don't know if I like it or don't like it.
Most of my grind go to promote my rhymes. A nigga don't know I shine. I feel like Cody take the chasing like I'm Dre or I'm Hov. Yeah, with the clothes. Fuck Hulk Hogan and fuck Joe Rogan because it flows. You know how it goes. Food from in the fridge from last night is on the table. Y'all sit down and say y'all grace because we ate so many bologna sandwiches as a child.
That's how I feel about my noodles. Oodles and noodles, that is. Not that gourmet shit that y'all be eating. I'm talking about chicken noodle. This song grew on me the most as it was playing, because at first when it came on, I didn't really mess with the beat like that. I wasn't really sure about the sample neither, but when he added that, I feel like that should have went on throughout the whole song. You know, I don't know if that sounded like it was supposed to. One of the most simplest songs in the project. I really feel like he put the emphasis on the importance of money in this song. I will say that. Track 14, Better Days.
Don't forget the better days. We been friends since 10. Back then we told people we cousins kin. Ain't get no good sleep till I was 27. I used to wear my big bro clothes. You used to let me borrow some of your clothes. We was webby and boozy with the low fade. Brush my hair for days, still ain't have no ways. Now we talking through a window while you in the cage. I was in and out the states. You was rapping on the rage. Had Atlanta going crazy. I was packing out the stage. Did one of her children, but she feel like you need to be thankful you still here. Seen some better days before you.
I'm always infatuated with hearing stories like what JID just rapped about on that first verse. You end up befriending somebody when you're younger, and you know, as y'all grow older and older, of course y'all build on y'all relationship and y'all kinship for that matter, and y'all go down two separate paths in life. You know, of course his friend ended up going to jail and he ended up, you know, being this superstar rapper. And it's just relatable. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what other word to say. It's just relatable because you have those people that you've grown up with and you've obviously grown apart from, but you can't let them go because of that friendship y'all built over the years.
Between old times and new ways, make friends and real snakes, false knowns and true facts. To make it to whatever took a very long time. I took every wrong turn, packing long lines. I made $1 million off of merch, paid the bills first and then invest the guest verses. Nothing's ever perfect, but I made it so my mom's ain't working. Off of American instrumental, see the reflection of a nigga that never liked attention or need acceptance from strangers coming in mentions. I formed against me, I formed against the weapon. Try to stretch him, but niggas sprinting.
Oh my. Like I said, I love how JID is just able to, and it seems like this is his personality. You know, he doesn't take everything to heart. He doesn't take everything personal. He always takes the good with the bad. He realizes that is just life. Everything is not roses and everything's not, damn, what's something bad? But he intertwines the positive with the negative so effortlessly. He's not trying to make it seem like he had the worst life that there ever was, but he's also reminded his audience that he did have his struggles coming up. He's putting emphasis on the fact that, yeah, I'm human. Of course I'm gonna have bad days. I've had better days in my time, but with saying this, I'm also up. You know what I'm saying? I'm also rich. Paid off my mom's house. She don't have to work no more. That's probably one of my favorites on the project so far. Dante Austin, he still sound the same as he did in 2006 or however that was. Track 15, Lauder 2, featuring one of my favorites right now and one of the most beautiful. I gotta throw that out there too. You know me. I have to do that. Raven Lene. Now that's not the only reason I'm excited for this record. I'm also excited because Lauder was my favorite song off The Never Story. Now I'm real interested to see what he's gonna rap about on this song, because if you heard the first installment of this record, you know, he was basically rapping about the future. You know, this was his first album he was rapping on, so he didn't really understand where his rap career was going at that point, but he knew where he wanted to be.
Part of me, but a part of me looking for more. Give him my heart, my art, my artery. What do you want more? But I'm tapped, I lap tap water and tap dancing. So be a bigger nigga, put your finger on the trigger as you looking at the mirror on the wall. But let's come up with a plan and we pursuing the Bible, but don't keep last week next time. Backseat shotgun, don't got one. Majority pushbacks, they unemployed party and pass straps and crack coming in stores and so. But fucking up cities, fucking I told you motherfuckers don't recover and kicking them to them coughing and spit. We never crumble. That's why we been down for life. Got a weird feeling the enemy's on the way. Give a little energy, anything motivate.
My hypothesis was totally wrong about this song right here. Lauder is gonna be JID's series where he's just putting on a lyrical showcase. That's what it's coming off as right now, because it really didn't have much to do with the first one. You know, it wasn't an extensive story to what we heard before. That first verse, he says something like, put the pistol to the mirror and shoot, and after you shoot, them cracks don't give a fuck about you. Like the crackers, like, can I say crackers on YouTube? No disrespect. Between his two verses on here, it seems like he's trying to do nothing but bring the black community closer together. He's talking about all the trials and tribulations we go through as a community, with also giving a solution at the end of the track. And the solution that he had kind of hit me the most because it's so simple. Just as simple as us coming together and knowing what we have, knowing who we are. Scribbling word rhymes, the audience giving applause in my spirit. I feel like they don't hear me at all. Like, so basically saying, you know, I'm rapping about all these conscious things, but I feel like people aren't understanding or grasping the concept. And I think he's talking to us specifically, us, our community specifically, because that's the topic of this whole song. That's who he's speaking to. His flow on this track was impeccable, like a lot of the songs on this record. Performance overshadowed anything that was going on in the background. And honestly, we don't get that in rap like that anymore. So that's why I'm happy about it. The only gripe I have with this track is the same gripe I have with how he used Kenny Mason on this album. You know, you got 2 features from Kenny Mason and we barely hear him. Raven Lene, I'm expecting to hear her. She only got 2 pockets of a chorus in here. What I gotta say about this shit? I really like this album. I think as far as rap performance is concerned, this may be one of the better projects that I heard this year. Pretty much got a full perspective of how JID feels about where he is in his career at this current moment in time. He's very thankful to be where he is, but he also thirsts for more. I think the main reason being that he feels the rappers that are running the game right now don't really have that much substance connected to their character. Like, come on now, be real with me. There's plenty of indications that he thinks that on this album, with him mentioning rappers being devil worshippers or being unskillful on a track like Dance Now, I really like that he dug deeper into his personality bag on this project. You know, being the fact that he used different voices or even went on to sing on certain records, like, what was it, Cody Blue 31? Like, he even sang on that. Like, he sang, not sing. He sang on that joint. It just shows the growth of JID as an overall artist. And I'm going to say that's the main thing I look for when an artist of his caliber leaves us without an album for 4 years. You know, I look for growth in that. You know, so you got to grow a little bit. It's been 4 years. I enjoyed the production on here a good amount. I wouldn't say as much as his rapping, though, because that's what impressed me the most throughout this whole album. But with JID, you know, he loves his beat switches and even beat pauses leading into another song. I like that a lot coming from him. I mean, it's typical JID in my opinion. So I wasn't too surprised with the backdrop on this album outside of songs like Cody Blue 31 or Brother and Them, where it's a heavy soul presence within the beat. JID being usually heavy trap based on his records, I was happy to hear his growth and beat selection as well. Now, to me, it's more apparent than ever that JID has the potential to be a special artist, but I don't know, man. It still feels like he's trying to avoid that hit record that a lot of people look for on albums. Because I will say, listening to this 15-track outing, I couldn't really pinpoint a record that will push him to the next level as far as being marketable. Not saying that it sounds like the same old JID, but I think to get where he obviously wants to get to in the rap game, you have to have a record on your album that transcends past just your audience. Because let's just keep it real, man. Everybody that knows JID can rap really well, I might add. Let me just throw that out. He can rap really well. But will this perk up the ears of the everyday consumer? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments. I don't know. On this album, I really like the fact that he goes through different personal periods of his life while also detaching himself from his personal experiences and focusing on the world's problems. Like I said in the review, man, he comes off as a really social aware person who cares about the people around him and people that he's never met a day in his life. It seems like the only selfish thing about JID is that he's taking time away from his family in order to chase his craft so he can take care of his family. Like, I gotta be honest, I didn't think JID would be able to create a more relatable album than The Never Story for me. This filled that void quick. Like, literally, this is what I'm going through today. I'm going through the same shit you're going through, but without the money. Listening to this, I came to the conclusion that lyrically, JID isn't really a master. But I will say that him being able to put words together the way he does and him being able to slip in and out of topics the way he does is just as hard as being a Mos Def type lyricist. So it's not really a knock on him, but I am noticing that lyrically, he isn't really that profound, but he knows how to say shit really well. Like, that's basically how, that's how I look at it. He know how to say shit. Damn. Like, I don't care. He's the best in the game when it comes to that slick talk. And I feel like the last track on this album really just proved that. Let me look back at the track list, because you know I'll be smoking and I forget what's on here. My favorite tracks: Cody Blue 31, Can't Make You Change, I love Ari Lennox part, Just in Time, Wayne 8, Better Days, and Lauder 2. Very impressive performance from JID. I'm happy with this project. I heard he was dropping another album. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but I'm sure y'all will let me know in the comments. If you can, please. I'm happy with this shit. I don't know what else to say at this point. I'm all out of juice. Let me know how y'all feel about the album in the comments. You already know, put anything down there with thoughts on the records, thoughts on the entirety of the album. I'm gonna read all that shit. I ain't got nothing else to do. Like the video, like the video. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Yeah.